Our countdown to tip-off continues. Today's stop is Russellville. We get to visit with the once and current head coach of the Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys, Coach Mark Downey. And Coach, I would say welcome to the GAC, and I still will. It's welcome back to Arkansas Tech. And for some who don't know, you spent a number of years there in Russellville before. You're coming back, but it's your first time to Arkansas Tech as a member of the GAC. So welcome into the Great American Conference, Coach.
Thank you, Joey. I'm excited to be back at Tech, and the GAC was a thought when I was here the first time, and an idea, and we were in the Gulf South at the time. But back at Tech and back in Russellville and Tucker Coliseum, and excited about that. But first time in the GAC, so our first go around. Looking forward to it.
I wanted to talk about Tucker Coliseum here in just a moment, but let's get into that. I know that in your time of transition, and we had a chance to visit a few months back, it was a time, obviously 2020 is what it is. So many Zoom meetings. I know since the time we visited before, you probably had about 200 more Zoom meetings along the way. As we're moving through and past some of those things, you've had a chance now, I'm sure, to get to spend more time with your team actually in person. What's going on right now in Russellville, and how's the team look?
It's been an interesting time, as everybody, crazy times. A lot of uncertainty that we faced, and just difficult. It's been difficult. It's gone well, with the circumstances. It's gone very well. But just, we had a bunch of guys test positive early in the semester. That's helped us get through the semester somewhat. With the 90-day period, that they don't have to retest if they've had it already. So, those guys fought through that. And it's just, I think when you're trying to change a culture and you're trying to, you got a lot of new faces. Everybody's new. No one's been in our program before except for some of our staff. So just been really difficult in that regard, because there's a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen, especially early in the semester. No one even really knew if we were going to play a season or not. Now there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's right around the corner, and guys are excited about that. Our players, our staff, we're all excited about that. But just, I think when you're trying to change a culture and you're trying to bring winning back to the program, in these times, there's just so many excuses. There's so many things that you can say, oh, well, there's one way to win. There's one way to do things. There's no secret to success. It's you got to put in the time. You got to do things the right way. And that's been a challenge, but we've been fighting through that. And, hopefully we'll see some dividends when we get to play in January.
And January is right around the corner. I mean, we are less than a month away from your first game on the schedule. We're speaking now with Arkansas Tech coach Mark Downey. Coach, talk about players being a part of your program. There are some folks who are returning to the green and gold. A few of those that will be back for you this season. You lose a lot of points from last year's producers on the court, but you have some good role players coming back, and Killian Adams and Tony Hall, among others. Talk about those who are returning then to Russellville.
Yeah, I'd like to really thank those guys. They have they've embraced me. They've embraced our staff, our family. And really embraced our culture and what we're trying to do, and get this thing rolling again. So Tony's been great. I had a previous relationship with Tony. He came to visit us at Northeastern State in Oklahoma, and he's from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And actually one of our players at Northeastern State played with him in high school at Broken Arrow. So they were good friends. He was in our gym a lot. So had a relationship with Tony, and he's been great. Tony's changed his body a little bit. He's gotten stronger. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's going to have to play a bigger role this year for us. I think he was capable of doing that last year, but they were pretty talented offensively. And Tony's really embraced what we're trying to do on the floor, and he's really bought in. So we're excited about Tony. Keelan as well. Keelan and I had a lot of talks in the summer about coming back and what his role was going to be and how he was going to have to change. And everybody, we talk about that every day, change. That's it. What we're doing is far different from what they've done in the past. And I'm not saying that was wrong, what they've done in the past. It's just a different philosophy. And so everyone's had to change how they think and change how they see things. And, we've spent a lot of time on, we did a lot of FaceTime and a lot of Zoom in the summer, but we've now spent a lot of time interacting and communicating, whether that's at night via text or FaceTime or whatever, just trying to gain these guys' trust, trying to let them know what we expect, what our expectations are, and raise their expectations. Some of those guys that are coming back and even the new guys, their expectations aren't high enough. And we're trying to change those expectations, trying to lift the standard a little bit, and expect to play and win every time you step on the floor. So those guys have been great. A couple of the other guys, Cameron Kennedy came back. He'll be a senior for us as well. He's been great. And KT Turner and Calvin Allen, all those guys have embraced us and really tried to do what we want to do with our program going forward. So we're excited to have those guys back, but we do have a lot of new faces as well.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You talk about change, and Sam Strasner is going to have to change some of his spotting boards with a lot of new names that he needs to get used to. Take us through a few of those.
Well, first of all, Sam Strasner is one of the best to ever do it. I've always said that. Sam and I have had some great times together, and hopefully we'll have plenty more, and Kelly right there along with him.
Right.
But we do have a lot of new faces, some Division I transfers. Deshaun Davidson from Texas State. He was a really good junior college player, and then before getting hurt at Texas State last year, started in the first 10 games and never really came back off that injury. So we're excited to have Deshaun here. He's talented, from the Illinois, Chicago area, northern Chicago area. Very good player. Justin Briley, a Plano, Texas kid that went to Milwaukee area community college. They were number 1 in the country last year when COVID shut them down, going into the national junior college tournament. So a point guard, both those guys are guards that will play a lot, run our team. And they're very important. I've always said that, your best player and your point guard are going to be your leaders. It's by default. And those two guys are really good players, and they're both point guards, and they're going to be our leaders. So, some other guys, Jaden Dewar, he came from Northern Idaho Community College, had a lot of success in junior college, and same with Nico Gosnell, a 6'9" forward. Both of those guys are forwards for us, and they're just to come from winning programs, and that's what we tried to do with this. If we were going to change this culture and get it to a winning culture, we need to bring winners in here. And that's really what we tried to do. And at Northeastern State last year, we had 5 seniors. We knew we were losing a lot of players. So we really knew that we were going to have to bring in some freshmen, but also bring in some transfers and some guys that could help us immediately. So we were already on a lot of these guys before we came to Arkansas Tech. And when we came down here, most of these guys fell in love with this place, and just like I have, and they wanted to follow us down here. So a couple other guys, Kevin Howard he played at Dodge City Community College. BJ Johnson transferred down here from NSU, from Northeastern with us. And then Kamani Binder had a really good junior college career at Indian River Community College in Florida, and then went to Portland State, and he had an injury as well and never really played at Portland State. So those guys are coming back off those injuries, and they're going to be really good, big pieces for us and good players. And then I think one of the biggest surprises for us is CJ Mann, little point guard out of Alma High School here in Arkansas that committed to us at Northeastern State. I'm really good friends with his father, who used to coach here at Russellville. And CJ has just come in and played really well as a freshman. And, with everybody, we were going to redshirt CJ. That was the plan the whole time. And now with COVID and everybody getting their year back, CJ is going to be able to play and still get his year back. So pleasant surprise. Really like coaching this team. I think we've got enough talent to be successful. How that's going to translate with chemistry and all the other stuff, putting it together in game situations back to back to back and just being consistent. We don't know what, with a new program and new faces, we don't know where that's going to go. But I think we're talented enough. We've got a lot of work to do, even though we only have 17 or 18 practices left before we play a game. But we're getting there.
And you do have a game right around the corner. I mentioned Tucker Coliseum. Coach, the home sweet home. You're going to get to see and the fans when the time comes. And I realize GAC protocols have been announced, so there'll be no fans in the early going. But still, you'll get that home field or home court advantage there. First game of the season, though, not a GAC game, as you all have scheduled Southwestern Christian to come to Russellville. From Oklahoma coming in. Of course, the GAC schedule starts on January 7th. After that, 4 of your first 5 outings are going to be right there in Russellville. So it's a great way, it looks like, to open the season.
Yeah, I mean, we're thankful to the coaches at Southwest Christian. We played them once at Northeastern State, and we're thankful that they're coming down and gonna give us a home opener. It'll be a tough game. They do a wonderful job, and but we did want to get our feet wet before we went into GAC competition. So yeah, it is what it is with COVID. I would much rather have people in the stands, and I know people are excited to come back and watch us play again. And Tucker Coliseum is a special place. A lot of tradition, a lot of great coaches and players have come through here. So we would love for our fans to be here. I guess you can look at it 2 ways. You can say, hey, home sweet home. We've got a bunch of home games. But at the same time, those first 5 games that we play, there will be no fans. So, maybe it'd be good to be on the road during those times. I don't know. You never know how to look at it. But it's nice to be at home and play in this building. It's a fun place to play. Eventually, hopefully we'll get some fans back in here in later January. But we're excited. We're really excited to play again and just have some normalcy, have some basketball. We want to hear the basketball bouncing. I don't think we'll have the popcorn popping quite yet, but hopefully soon.
We're ready for both and all the trappings that go along the way. The Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys picked in a tie for 3rd in the Eastern Division of the Great American Conference, according to the preseason coaches poll. Coach Mark Downey, thank you so much for taking time with us today. Welcome back to the GAC. Welcome to the GAC. And thank you again for your time.
Joey, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Look forward to working with you.